Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys.
All right, Sean. So now I hope that we are on a regular schedule, thanks to some things that have been like beyond our control that have prevented us from kind of just getting into a flow with disruptions from other things that pay the bills a little bit, so to speak, right?
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't make enough money from this, a full-time job and other stuff. So
do we make any money from this aside from our wonderful bets?
No. Yeah, it's self-funded.
Yeah, so if you're interested in sponsoring us, let us know. We'd be glad to throw a commercial up there for you, talk a little bit about your product. Something, some things we might not be interested in, but for most things, what the hell, I'd consider it, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So we got another week of the NFL under wraps, Sean. Did you learn anything this week that you didn't know before?
Not too much. I mean,
because you knew everything, right? Okay, next.
No. A lot of trends are always the same. It's just a matter of when you think you know that, you catch it, then the trend changes. So I mean, it's just you're always learning.
Well, I learned that Mike Williams can grab the defender from Cleveland, and somehow the Cleveland guy gets called for pass interference. Cost me a game, gave Sean a game. I was going to use the S word right there. Just an absolutely brutally bad call that extended the game. What's up? You took the Golden Knights money line and App State money line for today's picks. Yeah, we'll be getting on that. But just an absolute terrible calls against Cleveland. So much so that their players, knowing that they're going to get fined, went into the press and they were like, you know what? These refs suck. And I agree they suck because they cost me money. So, but the NFL can't find me. And hopefully they're not going through any of my old emails. Although I always think 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times before I send anything off. And I never send anything offensive out anyway because I'm vanilla. But anyway.
Yeah, that's all another subject and we don't want to get too far into that. But people with emails, like you're putting it out there. You don't do it.
Just a rule of thumb. Here, okay. Number one, we'll touch it a little bit. I know it's hot potatoes, but rule number one, I played football. I wrestled. I played some competitive sports, right? Went to school, Division I wrestling. But anyhow, I can tell you from being in the locker room and being on the field, minus the racial stuff, which is uncalled for. But some of the other stuff, like some of the things that guys say to each other in the course of playing sports, those emails were kind of vanilla, to be honest with you. You know what I'm saying? I've heard some really crazy stuff playing sports, and I've seen some guys in wrestling and in football on the same team get pretty hot with each other and say some really crazy stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So the thing is, like you said, it's the email. Like I get mad sometimes. I want to email people because they do stupid stuff, and then I'll write the email up and I'm sure everybody does this. And then I'll walk away from it, and then I'll come back, and just the writing it and then deleting it, right, makes me feel a little bit better. But you put anything on digital, it's coming back to you.
Yeah, I mean, same thing with social, and we see it all the time.
More of a pro curling player, I would take that rock and probably beat somebody's ass with it. That's what I would probably do.
I mean, I will say, times have changed and it's not acceptable at all. And he shouldn't be doing that. But also, if we're going to clean everything up, let's clean up rap. People are getting paid millions of dollars to say the exact same things.
Well, the thing here's to me, Sean, right? Okay, so I'm going to go a little bit on a range again. In religious terms, we're all sinners, right? We're not saints. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And I wonder if some of the people who are barking the loudest, right? If we had the opportunity to scrutinize every single thing that they've sent in email, every single word that they've uttered in private, thinking it's never going to make it into the public domain, I wonder how many of them would be able to stand up to the same standard they hold others to. Exactly. And you know what that answer is?
0.
absolutely effing zero.
Yeah, everybody's looked at all his emails. Let's do that to everybody and see what we could find.
See what we find. See who's left standing, right? Hey, man, you cannot. I know Keyshawn Johnson out there flapping his mouth about John Gruden. You can't tell me that Keyshawn Johnson hasn't said something negative about somebody out there somewhere that if it got into the public domain, some folks would find it offensive.
Absolutely.
No question about it. Zero question about it.
And I was saying about trends, and you said, what did I learn? Remember when Bill Krackomberger was on Friday night, and I said about Tampa Bay, and the only reason they wouldn't cover was the whole emotion with going to New England. But yet I played the Raiders, and the stuff was just starting to come out about Gruden. And you can't tell me that Sunday's lost.
Play for him. No,
yeah, exactly. Yeah. And
I mean, it's
Sunday. I was like, that's going to come back to bite me that I didn't consider that at all. But the stuff was just starting to come out Friday, so I kind of swept it under the rug and stuck with my pick there. But yeah,
I think the stuff about the National Football League, like the player guy, right? The union dude, that stuff is really never going to go over very well, no matter what, because it's stupid, right? It's unnecessary. You need not be derogatory towards anybody. We're all humans. We're all trying to do the best we can, right? So that kind of stuff I can understand going away. And, the stuff about you could probably use different words. But I can just tell you, like I said, in playing sports and wrestling rooms and stuff like that, I've heard stuff that when it come out of people's mouths, you almost can't believe it. But it's just emotion, right? People are mad, they're angry at the moment. It's not maybe what their true feelings are, but it is how they feel when they're emotional at the moment, right? And some people express themselves in words, and other people, they crimes of passion when they get angry or mad. They have there's I don't know how many. And this is really way off the path for sports today, but how many trials a year are there for crimes of passion, right? Your emotions kick in and people don't think straight anymore.
Yeah, and like I said, all those words used, they're not right. But everybody that's crying wolf right now and crying have used that word or listened to a song that has those words
or worse.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's the problem is if you want to say those words hurt you, then don't sing them, don't read them, don't support any of that. That's what we got to get.
I just like I said, I like to see everybody held to the same standard. That's all, right?
Exactly.
If you're complaining about what's in somebody's emails, then release 100% of your emails. Let's see what you've written at times that you may wish that you didn't do later on. We're not saints. We're all sinners, folks. So let he who has not done wrong cast the first stone. Anyway, enough of the. Nobody came to church today. They came to do some sports betting, right, Sean?
Right.
So let's talk a little bit about sports betting. Anyway, the NFL on the weekend, I was at one crappy call and a meaningless Jets field goal away from being 5-1 on Sunday, which really bothers the hell out of me. But in any case, those are some bad losses. Let's see if we can avoid bad losses today. We'll start with Major League Baseball, Sean. There's one game left on the schedule tonight. That is the Dodgers and San Francisco. It seems like the team that can get to one run wins. Which team gets to one run tonight, Sean?
Whew. Yeah, I think you take the value here again and you take the Giants. I mean, I think the Dodgers aren't going to win the World Series this year. I mean,
told me not too long ago that they were like the ultimate. They're never going to lose a game. They're going to sweep through these guys.
What's funny about that is the two teams we argued about are probably going home today.
Well, it depends. If Milwaukee can win today, they're probably not going home.
Oh, well, I don't think they're going to win, but we'll see. I think plus 155 again. I'll take San Fran. I'll take the value here.
You can get actually as high as 169, Sean. So
yeah, again, you can use your term on that. They might not win, but they're the right bet, right? I mean,
it is absolutely 100% the right bet, Sean. There's no question about it. Although the Dodgers do have the home field advantage, very slight. They have outscored the Giants at home relative to what the Giants have produced on the road. So in that respect, yes, the Dodgers have a very small advantage. It's certainly not the implied probability that the lines are suggesting right now. And then when I look at the simulator actually puts it like 50.4% the Giants win and like 49.6% that the Dodgers win. So the right bet is absolutely 100% the Giants. May not be a winning bet, but it's the right bet. Personally, I think the Dodgers are going to win this game. Their backs are against the wall, all that yada, yada, yada stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and pass on this spot because there's no value in a losing bet, and I feel like the Giants probably lose.
Yeah, I'll take the Giants with the value there and do my normal 30.
You're going to do your normal 30 on the Giants with the value. Let's take a look at what the public and what the pros are doing with their money, Sean. So hold on one second while this opens up for me. So I'm looking at the Raptors and the Wizards. Nobody cares about this preseason basketball stuff, right, Sean?
No, probably not.
So looking at the game for the Giants and the Dodgers, the money, 70% of the tickets, 2/3 of the tickets are on the Dodgers, and 3/4 of the money is on the Dodgers. So the so-called smart money is backing the Dodgers in this spot. I would think about backing the Dodgers if they were in my comfort zone, so minus 160 or less. You're not going to get that tonight anywhere unless you pay for it. So I'm not willing to pay for it.
I mean, the odds are pretty close to what they were last game with Scherzer going, and they lost that too. So, I mean, I do have Buehler going, but he's been.
Well, Buehler's pitching on 3 days rest, right?
Yeah, and he hasn't been pitching all that great. So,
well, look back at his stats on 4 days rest. They don't have 3 days rest. I couldn't find that, but maybe he hasn't done it before. Maybe that's why. But on 4 days rest, his ERA is a full 1 run higher over the course of 9 innings than it is on 5 or 6 days rest. So I would expect he'll be a little bit more hittable than usual tonight. But on the other side, Descalfani, whatever his name is, he minus the last start against the Dodgers usually have his number. So the last one was a good one but it was in San Francisco and LA. He's kind of given up 3-4 runs a spot. So I think the Dodgers win. I can't bet him because I'm not getting the right price, and it's not the right value whatsoever at all. So the next spot on the game on the calendar tonight, Sean, this is like an everything happening night. 1 week from now, it'll be football, it'll be baseball, it'll be basketball, and it'll be NHL hockey. But tonight we're going to talk a little bit about college football. You have Appalachian State going to visit Louisiana Lafayette, the Ragin' Cajuns. The App State team's laying 4.5 or 4. You can get 4.5. So you can get 4.5 with Louisiana Lafayette, and you can lay 4 if you want Appalachian State. Anything on this game that tickles your fancy, so to speak?
Yeah, I'm going to give up the 4 with Appalachian State. They are by far the better team. Louisiana Lafayette likes to run. They like the quarterback to run. I think Appalachian State can stop that. And Appalachian State's offense is pretty good. So I'll give up the 4 and take Appalachian State here.
Yeah, I'm going to do the same exact thing, Sean. I think Appalachian State, I have them projected to win this game and cover by about 4.5 to 5 points. So they should win by about 10 is what roughly what that equates out to. When I think offensively, they're better on offense than Louisiana Lafayette, and they're better on defense. So their offense matches up better against the Ragin' Cajuns defense and their defense matches up better against the Cajuns offense. So they have the advantage, so to speak, on both sides of the ball. And if I remember what I read correctly, the kicker from Louisiana Lafayette hurt himself. And then the kid that the substituted in for him last week missed some extra points and missed some field goals. So not only do they match up better on offense and defense, but special teams could be a real issue. The only thing that worries me about that a little bit then is if they know that the kicker is not capable of making field goals, there could be some fourth down, Louisiana Lafayette trying to go for it on fourth down and extending drives that might have otherwise ended in field goals. So that concerns me just a little bit, Sean.
Yeah, but again, Appalachian State, they're the better team. They've been playing the better competition. 4 points is not much here. It's a Tuesday night, though, so who knows? these games on Tuesday nights, Well,
60% of the bets are back in App State, and over 3/4 of the money. So the smart money is back in App State here. I think we're smart money tonight, Sean. Hopefully, along with smart money, we're winning money tonight.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the idea, right? All right. So finally, the last sport. Man, there's tons of sports today, Sean. We have the opening night of the NHL, National Hockey League. And you have the Pittsburgh Penguins versus the Tampa Bay Rays. Right? Lightning. Yeah, baby. Yeah, I'm just caught up in baseball.
I mean, unless if the Rays, their season's over in baseball, maybe they switched over.
They could. And then you have Seattle versus the new team, the Kraken, right? They're going to get Kraken, against the Vegas Golden Knights. Looking at either of these games, Pittsburgh and Tampa, do you like anything in that spot?
No, I mean,
Tampa wins.
Tampa probably wins, yeah, but there's a lot of value there with Pitt. I mean, those odds are, was it like plus 220?
You can get as high as plus 220 on Pittsburgh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I would just stay away, but Tampa probably wins, but plus 220 is a lot for a team like Pittsburgh too.
I think Tampa wins this game. They're the better team. They're deeper. They're faster. They're stronger. And plus their guy, Khrushchev, he's just hilarious. Do you remember all that post NHL stuff when they won the thing?
I did not see that, no.
So he's been killing it with the Tom Brady no interceptions bet, 115 for the last 3 weeks now. That's a good idea. No, you didn't see Khrushchev? What was his name?
I don't remember that.
He had no shirt on. He was drunk, and he was saying, like in the post game after they won the championship, he was like talking about how when teams won when they lost at a game on the road and how the fans are celebrating. He's like, that's bullshit. I mean, it was hilarious. You have to, if you haven't seen it, you got to Google it because it's one of the funniest post like championship interviews you will ever see. I mean, you're just sort of cracking up the entire time. He's making fun of other people's fans, making fun of other teams. I mean, just flat out funny. So here's what I'm going to do: a 2-team parlay in this tonight, and I'm not going to money line. I'm not going to take the straight money line. And I'm not going to take the puck line because much like baseball, the puck line is the -1.5 will screw you. So Vegas and Seattle, I'm really tempted to do the puck line because the Kraken gave up a ton of goals during the preseason. They're not going to be organized. I was reading in the paper today that they didn't even know who their starters are going to be because some guys haven't gone through the COVID protocols and they're not even sure who's going to be there. So they don't even know who their starting lineup is. I'm sure they know. Maybe it's a little bit of gamesmanship for the first game going up against one of the better teams out west. Vegas definitely wins this game. And I just ensured that the Kraken win their debut, but Vegas probably wins this game. They probably win by 2 goals or more. I think it'll probably be a pretty high scoring game because when the Kraken did score in preseason, they put up a ton of points. But a lot of games they got shut out and beat like 4 or 5-0. So it's either a lot of goals or no goals. So what I'm going to do, Sean, is I am going to do a 60-minute line. Are you familiar with those?
Yeah, so you're doing what you do in soccer.
Right. Well, no, soccer is a little bit different, but this is a 60-minute line. So what that basically means is that both teams are going to win and the game's not going to go to go into overtime.
Right. Yep.
So if you take the Tampa Bay Lightning and the Vegas Golden Knights in the 60-minute line and you put them together, so they both win in regulation, that line equals plus 152. So I'm going to do that. Instead of doing a full 20 on it, Sean, I'm only going to do it for 15.
Yeah, I like that bet because you get a lot more value for something that you really shouldn't have to worry about. I mean, if these two teams really win and, play like they should, you shouldn't have to worry about overtime.
Yeah, well, according to the odds, one team they're both like minus 250 or something like that and above. Yeah, so the Tampa Bay is minus 270 and they're minus 280, the Vegas Golden Knights. So they both should win in regular time.
So what I'm actually doing is I was going to take Vegas, giving up a goal and a half here.
So you can get minus 105. Let's see. Let me look in here if I can get you something better, Sean. Totals. Of course, I got to go to spreads over here. Of course, Sean's going to mess me up so let's go point spread. So Vegas, you're going to go Vegas minus 1.5 goals.
Yep.
Ooh, puck lines are dangerous, boy. I'll tell you, Sean, I lost a ton of bets like that last year.
Vegas at home is always
teams
good.
That win. So you can get minus 105 is the best number I can get you. So I think on DraftKings you can get right now. Yeah, they're minus 105. They were minus 100. They're plus 100 like right before we came on.
Yeah. So you have the same rule in hockey that you do in baseball. No negative puck lines.
Hell no.
No.
I tell you, here's where puck lines make a ton of sense, right? They don't make sense in the regular season at all because you just get your rear end handed to you. There's so many games where you're going to be up and the team, they pull the goalie and they jam in a goal late and you end up getting screwed. That's happened to me so many times last year. But in the playoffs, it's the exact opposite. You end up getting extra goals because they do pull the goalie and then you end up getting more goals. So
Right.
the playoffs are the only time, and plus some teams will play for overtime too. So, I mean, the regular season is much different than the playoffs. I don't mind playing puck lines in the playoffs because, teams are going to be more aggressive in terms of trying to close that gap.
Yeah. Vegas is just really good at home. Seattle's an expansion team, and they also have a lot of players out, like you said. So I saw a record, and I know it doesn't matter what the goal line, it's just wins, but they're like 42-14 in their last so many games at home or something. Like they're
killer at home. Yeah,
yeah. So I'm just taking it that they're not going to win this game by just one goal.
But they might. The NHL might not want them to be shown up. All right, you just saw my dog walk by in the window back there. My blonde, I call her my chubby blonde girlfriend. my lab. She's a wonderful dog. She's just so sweet. Loves everybody. Very friendly. We're trying to teach her to walk. Trying to walk without a leash and all that kind of stuff. And she's unbelievably well-behaved dog. Anyway, so just to recap, Sean, what do you like tonight?
I have the Giants to beat the Dodgers at +169, Appalachian State in the college football game -4, and Vegas in the hockey game -1.5 goals at -105.
So I'm taking the App State bet 2 for 20, my normal number, until I get back above water. And then I'm also taking a 60-minute parlay, regulation time win for both the Tampa Bay Lightning and the Vegas Golden Knights, putting those two together and getting that at +152 for $15, Sean. Grubauer is a beast, says Drew. Anything else, Sean?
No, I think that's it for today.
All right, fantastic. That is it for today. Tomorrow we'll be back again with Major League Baseball, some NHL. Are there any college football games tomorrow, Sean? I think there are a few tomorrow, right? There's more than one tomorrow. Is that right?
I didn't think so, but
oh no, not till Thursday. Yes, Thursday.
Yeah.
So it'll just be hockey and baseball tomorrow, right?
Yep.
All right, Sean. Well, that wraps up this Tuesday. Good luck with your bets, everybody. Of course, we hope that everybody's a winner, especially Sean and I. And if folks want to tell their friends about us, what do they do, Sean?
You got MoneylineMadman.com, free to register, see all the picks, post whatever you want. You got Facebook and Twitter, Moneyline Madman, and you can subscribe at YouTube as well.
Absolutely. And if you do subscribe over at the website, we'll post some more like site-specific things that are not on either the Twitter feed, the Facebook feed, or on this particular show. And then also make sure if you like us on YouTube, you give us a thumbs up if you like it. It makes us move up the search engine rankings, and the same thing on Facebook. If you give us a like, we move up their rankings as well. So that's how their algorithms work. All right, Sean, have a great Tuesday night. Good luck with your picks, everybody, and hope that all of them are winners. We will see you in 23 and 30, provided I can remember what time we start. Have a great night.